What's up, y'all, and welcome back to The Dose, where we are here to help leaders pivot into their next. My name is Alex Seal, and I've enjoyed 20 years with the world's most caring company, and I want to take leadership concepts and bring them to you in a digestible manner that will help you get into the next season of your leadership. Let's grow. What's up and what's happening, TPE family? We're back with another episode of The Dose, where our aim is to help leaders get better each and every week. My name is Alex Seal, and I've had the opportunity to work for the world's most caring company for the last 22 years, and I've learned a lot of things that I want to pass along to you guys as you continue your journey of leadership development. I want to add really quickly before we jump into today's dose, I want you to head over to www.tpenow.com and get registered for our upcoming Lead Better. This dose actually is going to be a recap of our last Lead Better, the high level points that we wanted to kind of highlight for you guys that jumped off the page for us. But on this upcoming Lead Better for August, we have Leah Roberson of the Little Things Marketing Company, and she's going to be talking about marketing strategy and some things that she has going on within the organization as she serves Chick-fil-A operators all across the country with their marketing needs. And so if you are interested in, if you're a leader in a restaurant who just is curious about marketing, curious about strategy, this would be a great event for you. If you are someone who is seeking to become an operator and to get into the space, this is a great Lead Better for you as well, so you can get an idea of what marketing could look like for you in the future. And just in general, if you just are curious about social media and all things marketing, this will be the perfect event for you. 100% free. Just head over to www.tpenow.com and you can get registered. It's virtual, and we want you to see you guys there. So this past Lead Better that we had for July, we had Chick-fil-A operator Eric Sienko come on, and I've had the opportunity to meet Eric. I've known Eric now for probably going on 5 years, and I've had a lot of great interactions with him, and I know his story. So I was really excited for him to come on and just speak into his journey from being a restaurant leader to getting into LDP and then now being an operator. And so there are some things that he spoke about at each of those different destinations and levels that I think can help you in your journey of becoming a better leader and to hopefully help you lead your people better. And so number one, the first thing that we really talked about that I like a lot is tracking your progress. I think if you're a leader in an organization, you're going to have metrics and all kinds of different things that you can impact through your leadership, whether that's through your innovation in creating new systems, ensuring that current systems are flowing and going. So we talked about the necessity to track your progress. And there's a couple of things that I want to talk about in this one bucket of tracking progress. Is this number one is to set clear goals and milestones within what you want to track. Once you identify the area of opportunity for you in your organization, it's important for you to set clear milestones and be specific, something that you can measure, something that you can get an accurate gauge on when you're tracking the progress of it. I think it's really hard to track the progress of something that you don't have a clear vision for or a clear and defined metric for. So set a clear milestone is really important. Regularly reviewing and reflecting on the progress of what you're doing is important as well. It's critical once you identify where you want to go, once you've established where you are, and then once you've created that plan of action, for you to regularly check in to see if what you're trying to implement or uphold and enforce is effective. And so you regularly just continue to review those things to track the progress. And then the last area of focus in the tracking of your progress is you have to have the humility to adjust and adapt when necessary. A lot of times the ideas that we have look great on paper, but when you start to implement them, it may not exactly go the way that you want it to go. So when you're regularly reviewing and reflecting, and you realize that maybe you need to adjust what you're trying to do, you need to adjust the sails based on the flow of the wind or the direction of the wind. You have to be able to in being effective in tracking your progress is to adjust and adapt. You can track your progress and do the same thing, and then you'll notice that from the beginning of month one to the end of month three, you're at the exact same place. I don't think that's the place you want to be in. And so, in tracking your progress, you have to learn when you need to make those adjustments. The next thing that really jumped off the page for me, in the context of this conversation that we had with Eric, was he talked about your biggest successes come from your biggest challenges. And so, the three things that really I want you guys to focus on in this bucket is one, embrace failure as a learning opportunity. Too many times we are afraid to go forward with an idea or a plan because we're scared of failing. Okay. um, the thing is that if you don't embrace failure, you may miss out on an opportunity to learn something about yourself, learn something about the people around you, learn something about just how to implement a system. Some of the greatest things that we enjoy today are birthed from failure, from or birthed from people or that are willing to take a risk and put themselves out there to fail. And so when you do that, you put yourself in a position to learn. When you also embrace this idea, you build resilience. I think we are leading our organizations, there's people around us who are looking for us to have the face of courage, to be the person who, in the midst of when things that look dark, we know what to do. We have the answers. We can rise to the occasion. Your ability to do this comes from the level of resilience that you have built up over time through the things that you've allowed yourself to experiment with and to fail from. And then the last but certainly not least in this same bucket is leveraging challenges for growth. I always encourage our teams to take on the challenge to stretch themselves, right? I don't think great things come from being comfortable. I don't think great things happen by us just trying to get by. Great things occur when we step outside of our comfort zone and we accept challenges that may seem bigger than what we actually can do. And you'll be surprised that if you leverage the challenge, and you get to the other side of it, you will find that you have grown and become a better leader because you've positioned yourself to be able to do that. And then the last thing from our conversation with Eric that I just loved, is knowing when to motivate and knowing when to challenge. Right. We were having a conversation around coaching and development, and Eric was really talking about there's certain behaviors on your team that you want to see continue, and then there's certain behaviors that you don't want to see happen. And so, for those behaviors of the people that are working around you and on your teams, you want to motivate them towards continuing to do those things. So you encourage and you inspire them to keep on doing those things. But then there's also other things that the people or that on your team are doing that you don't want them to do. That's where you challenge them to get better. You challenge them to change that behavior. You challenge them to do better. And so I love the fact that, when we look at our teams and we look at the things that they're doing, we have to make the determination of, is this something that I want to motivate them to keep doing, or is this something that I want to challenge them to stop doing? So I really love that about our conversation. So those are the three things in a nutshell that really rose to the top from our last lead better with Chick-fil-A operator Eric Sienko. Tracking your progress, man, taking notes of where you are, what you're doing in implementation, and then measuring how effective those things are. Number two, your biggest successes come from your biggest challenges. Leveraging failure, leveraging the idea of failure. And you never know. You might not fail, but you won't never know unless you take the challenge. And then the last but certainly not least, knowing when to motivate and knowing when to challenge. Knowing when to motivate towards the behaviors you want to see, knowing to challenge the behaviors that you don't. So I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in to the dose today. Hopefully something was said to help you along in your leadership journey. Again, go to www.tpenow.com to get locked in for the upcoming Lead Better, where we're going to be talking to Leah Robeson from the Little Things Marketing Company. She is incredible. You can go ahead and connect with her on LinkedIn. She's all over LinkedIn all the time. And so thank you guys so much for tuning in. Until next time, TPE family. Peace. What's up, guys? Here at the TPE, we're much more than your ordinary coaching brand. We're a team of coaches that have boots on the ground, who have real world experience in the area of running big business. And so let's get connected. Head over to tpenow.com and see how we can help you and your leaders pivot into the next.